YSL Eau Fraiche fragrance for men for the summer. Guys, what should you consider when buying a fragrance? I am going to show you today a summer fragrance, the YSL Eau Fraiche. Is it strong enough? Is the Eau Fraiche strong enough? Do you need a stronger fragrance, maybe an Eau de Toilette or even an Eau de Parfum? This and more coming up on this fragrance review. First, we're going to look at the presentation. Then we're going to do some facts about the fragrance. When did it come out? What are the specific notes? Maybe look up the perfumer for this fragrance. And then in part 4, I'm going to share with you my quick summary and conclusion. What did I learn from wearing that fragrance? Was it worth the purchase? How did I like it? I've worn it a couple of times this summer and I think it's an interesting release. That's why I'm going to show this to you on my fragrance review channel. Awesome you're here. Let's get started. Wonderful. Then let's have a closer look at Yves Saint Laurent Y Eau Fraiche fragrance. Great fragrance for, let's say, the summertime. I just got this bottle recently from this new release and I wore it a couple of times. And I have to say, I'm pleasantly surprised because not only does the bottle have like this really nice eye-catching design with frosted going to a clear top, makes great in every fragrance collection, beautiful white cap. But wearing the fragrance during summertime, I'm also surprised for Y Eau Fraiche. The initial projection and longevity was really great. As you may know, if it's a very fresh, light fragrance, sometimes certain fresh notes tend to disappear a little bit quicker. I mean, I applied it. This I was really positively surprised. So why don't we just jump to part 3 and look at the notes. So guys, let's quickly check out some information that I could find on this YSL fragrance. Like always, I sprayed it on the tester strip, reminding me of this very unique smell. I really do love that smell. I really enjoy it. So it's an Eau Fraiche, and as you can see, from 2020, and a very new scent. So if you like new scents, that could be for you. For an Eau Fraiche, the longevity, I remember it to be very good. You know, you have Eau Fraiche, Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum. It's a fresh fragrance that lasts, from my personal opinion, surprisingly long. You know, sometimes you have fresh fragrances that appear relatively quickly. I mean, it's not a super strong fragrance, but initially, for the first when you spray it and you wear it for a couple hours, it does really project very nicely and strongly. Obviously, with fresh fragrances, that tapers down over time. And then you have other notes from the base coming up, but this really does smell very nice. And yeah, it's classified, I think, as an aromatic fougere. It's definitely clean, fresh, and crisp. I like to use these descriptors more because clean, fresh, and crisp, people can imagine easier, I think. This smells great. I mean, I think it smells really unique. Only thing I could imagine, and that would be my conclusion right now, if you just want a very classical, manly, fresh, out of the shower kind of smell, maybe the YSL Eau Fraiche maybe is not for you, because I think it just smells more creative. They just went in another direction with that. It still retains the freshness, but I think it's a little bit more creative while at the same time remaining commercial. And yeah, the notes, lemon, ginger. Yeah, you get some freshness from the lemon, but it doesn't smell like straight up lemon. Ginger, yeah, you have some spiciness, but not too much. And then geranium, mint, and juniper berry. Sometimes you have mint-based fragrances, and you also have to keep in mind there are different cultivars of mint. So if you see these notes here in the side card, they just give you some rough indication. You know, the fragrance company can pick different cultivars of mint, then based on the cultivar of mint that you have, the fragrance oils in the mint are totally different. Then you can extract the fragrance oil out of these different mint plants that by themselves all smell different, and then you can take the oil that you have and like only take the upper portion of the oil or the lower portion, the so-called fraction, and that gives the perfumer a lot of room to play around with these individual notes. And I would say if you don't have a trained nose, I think that might be at some point hard to pick out. I mean, sure, there are some fragrances that are straight up lemon or straight up mint, but here it's like so blended that it creates like something like new. It has freshness, maybe a little bit mintiness, but it has also some woodiness. But for example, I don't get the incense note. And I don't remember it getting it when I was wearing it. But regardless, my conclusion is this is a very nice scent. I personally enjoy it a lot, but I could imagine that people who just want something more mainstream, manly, masculine, maybe like Armani Acqua di Gio Profondo, the blue one, that is probably more masculine leaning. This here I think is lighter and more creative, and that's exactly what I like. Sometimes I just like fragrances that are a little bit different, but that also retain this acceptable, a little bit commercial quality. Very nice job by the perfumer, I enjoy it. Interestingly, I also saw people that do not enjoy it, so that goes to tell you, if you have like mainstream style fragrances, they are sometimes accepted by more people. Let's say you take 100 people, the majority likes these mainstream fragrances, and as soon as the perfumer gets more creative, or then maybe it can be a little bit less. So that's why I would say pay attention to this. But for spring and summer, I think this is terrific. Very, very happy. It's my first YSL fragrance. If you think there are other YSL fragrances that smell better, or other YSL fragrances that I should check out, please let me know. I also want to learn something from you guys. Awesome for tuning in. This fragrance gets a thumbs up from me. I enjoy it very much, and I see you in the next video. Take care. Terrific. And if you're interested in fresh, light, aquatic scents, then maybe you're also interested in this cult classic, the Armani Acqua di Gio. Maybe you have never tested this before, then I encourage you to have a look at it. It's very Hedion and especially I think Cologne heavy fragrance, but that's why a lot of people like this apparently, and I also find myself reaching for it during the summertime quite frequently. Awesome for tuning in. You can subscribe right now as well. Take care.